Hey, it's Raven Scry. This morning I'm down back at the water, um, trying to get a bit of a reset and a refresh. I didn't have a great night's sleep last night. There's so much going on. There's a lot being processed, and so I just felt like earthing, grounding at the water's edge is important for me today. And I also just felt like a bit of a walk in nature, and to give a bit of a reading from things and elements that cross my path. I always feel like, doing that is like walking inside a reading and somehow bringing deeper wisdom to connect it into these earthly realms, from spirit all the way into the earthly realms, and seeing the synchronicities and the things that appear in the path as part of a prompt for deeper wisdoms and understandings. So today I just wanted to share, as I started this walk, I haven't been down to these waters for quite some time. I used to be down here daily, but I think you guys have noticed, a few videos coming from down these ways, but I used to be down here walking daily, and it was very much part of my process to be walking along the path along this water's edge. And there's been so many different things that have appeared, and symbols and things over the time that have kind of spoken to me, and in such subtle ways, but just such clear ways as well. And connecting to nature is just so magical, and is just so part of this work. But today, as I walked down the path, I got out of the car and I started walking, and I felt like, what am I going to encounter today? There's going to be something that's significant. And so as I walked up the path, suddenly up ahead there was this snake across the path. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen a snake in Victoria in my whole life. I've been very much based in Victoria a lot of my life, and I've come and I've gone, but I have never seen an actual snake here. And there today was one just crossing the path up ahead, and it was still, and I stopped and just observed, and it felt very, very significant to me, and very significant to this new change and this integration of deeper parts of ourselves, and rising of energy that has been somewhat dormant, So this snake was there as this reminder. And up ahead, actually, I spoke to a guy, and he was saying it's a marsh snake, which is a little bit like a red belly black snake, but they're a bit of a crossbreed. And so it slithered off into the bush, and I was like, ooh, auspicious. So and then as I kind of continued to walk, I was really focusing on the tiny things, the really micro little elements that were speaking to me, and just taking a few little tiny shots of things very up close, micro, in connection here. It's like the connection of the snake and these underworld, these depths of rising, and of course the Kundalini kind of sacred mother energy too. It was all speaking within this process, but it was also all the tiny little ways that you can see this within your own being, and within the way that things speak. It can be very gentle, very slow, and this is kind of the sequence of this walk. As I was walking, and right now I'm sitting on the beach. So this is as I've been moving up to this point until now. And there's one other thing that was quite significant. I kind of stopped for a moment and thought, should I sit here to do this video? And then I could just smell, whoa, there was this smell of something had died, and I was like, oh, okay, and I kind of hovered around. Then it kept getting me, this smell of death. So it was like I was trying to stop there to rest, and kind of, regroup and maybe share from that place. But I was quite strongly getting to kind of move along. And to me, there was a real clarity in, you can't stop here. You have to continue on from this death, from this old, something has died, and I can't be hanging around there. I can't be stopping there. I have to continue on, letting go. Now I feel as though this is, very reflective of the themes at this moment. I know that, there's been this death theme that keeps coming up in readings, but it's another reminder of that as we move forward, that we can't kind of hang around what's died. It only kind of brings uncomfortability and bad smells and disease and decay. Honouring the process of the death rebirth process. But when it comes to an actual body that is dying, like an animal's body, it's like there's really no reason to hang around. It's like, keep going, and this is just so much to do with the energy at the moment. So, then I've just walked up here and plonked myself down on this beach, and here we are within the symbols and the signs of today. Now, with all that said, I'm just going to connect all of that in now to spirit, and just ask if there is any more insight into that sharing that wants to be brought into words today. It's interesting because, as I said, the energy sort of went very strange. It's like there is this kind of, this blending and this bridging of new energies, but it's like, whoa, there's all sorts of weird kind of strains in the mix that can be quite unsettling and disturbing. But really, to allow that flow, and suddenly there's little flies buzzing around my nose, allowing that flow of just surrendering to allow this dissonant kind of unbridged energies to find a flow state. So yes, just surrendering and accepting is kind of key at this moment. So as I just allow that space in more, and I welcome spirit, and I just ask them if there's anything they wish to add to the sharing, because I just really wanted to just connect and just give a little sharing, give it a little bit of an energy kind of snapshot of the day that I'm experiencing, and the energies and nature, and just anything to be shared. It's like they're talking about triumphant times, and they're giving this picture of like grand energy and triumphant, I just keep hearing, and it's like next levels of things, but they are just reminding that we're still in these end stages. And I know that, sometimes it feels like a broken record, but there is a shift taking place, but there is still this kind of end to this shift as this new alignment comes in and takes place. So they're just wanting to remind of that, but to also remind that it's taking a while, but we're getting there. There is movement, and sometimes it may seem minute, and okay, they're taking me back now to these tiny macro, little tiny movements, that if you would zoom in on that movement, it actually seems quite huge, but it's actually very tiny, but it's outside of time and space. Who can say large or small? It's like it almost doesn't exist, but wherever you look, you're seeing this change, essentially. Ooh, and there's a dog and a poor person. Hello. So interesting times of change continue, and I just wanted to share that today. I feel like there's so much more to come from this energy of the snake. You know, it's like everything's just under the surface and is being revealed. You know, it's like this slowly little parts are being revealed. You know, it kind of reminds me like the stones in the water, like you can probably see in front, you know, that they kind of go into the water, and sometimes the water washes back and there's just an uncovering. It's like when the tides move back out, it's like you start to see what's underneath there. So there is this uncovering of stuff that's all coming in at the moment. And just the reference to the beautiful snake, that she's present in the flesh today on the path, felt very potent and very special. So I want to leave you with that symbol, because it felt like a very special one to share. Okay, I'm going to leave it there today, and I hope that you have a great weekend wherever you are. It's Saturday around, I don't know, late morning, around lunchtime here, just by the water, just trying to take it slow, and not be too ungrounded. You know, I've been a bit flighty and sort of a million things going on in my brain at once, so it's time to kind of just resettle and come back in and align with this snake energy, to move forward into this beautiful change that's coming in. Okay guys, take care, and I'll see you soon. Raven Scry signing off.